Hi, welcome back to Technology Review. I'm your host, Mac Jackson Jr. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and my website at macjacksonjr.com. On LinkedIn as well at linkedin.com/in/Mac Jackson Jr. If you're on Facebook, remember to give us 2 thumbs up. We appreciate it. In this segment, we call it the Business Spotlight. This is where we talk about businesses, why it's important for companies to protect their information from cyber criminals. And the reasons why is because companies and businesses are the number one source. That's right, folks, the number one source of identity theft and cyber crimes. Because that's where the cyber criminal can have access to thousands upon thousands of records that they can turn around and buy and sell in the dark net to cyber criminals. So that's why it's important to companies. If you're a small one-person shop to a large mega corporation, you must have procedures and policies in place to protect your customers' personal identifiable information and the data that you collect on a daily basis. If you track data, you must have a way to protect it. Cyber thieves are on the rampage right now. I mean, every time you turn on a news story, you'll find some sort of story regarding a cyber attack. From governmental agencies to small businesses, thieves are looking to acquire information, because information is a new currency. It's worth more than money, because if you have information, you could sell it more than once, because there are thieves and groups of thieves that will buy your information from more than one source. So that's why it's important to protect your data. So what can businesses do? Well, first of all, businesses have to realize that they are becoming more and more responsible for this data. And I say this because there are lots of new regulations that are coming, that are being created worldwide in municipalities and governments, agencies around the world, that are asking businesses to comply with certain regulations on security. And for example, having policies in place if there was a data breach. The question would be, what would you do if your company had a data breach? What steps would you take besides calling your IT guys and saying, is there a backup? There has to be something more than that you need to do. Training your employees. That is the first line of defense, is training your employees. Because as humans can make mistakes, people can be negligent as well and make an accident and do something, undeliberately, that can cause a data breach in a company's system. And with proper training, they can avoid that. So what I would suggest is have all your employees trained. And a way to do that is by having them participate in a cybersecurity awareness course for all your employees, including the front desk person to your C-level group. Understanding a little bit about what's going on can save you thousands and thousands of dollars and hours of stress and time trying to figure out what do the cyber thieves take in our organization. So a question I have for the business owners out there is, what is the biggest cybersecurity threat to businesses? And it's real simple, folks. The biggest threat to businesses regarding cybersecurity is that the businesses are not connecting the losses to their bottom line. That's right. They're not connecting the losses. They're thinking it as a small incident, a small problem that's not worthy of investing money into. Now, that was before. A lot of companies are changing that. They're starting to realize this. Maybe it's because of regulations, or maybe because of all the stuff that's going on in the media. They're starting to look at this and thinking there's more that we need to do to protect our data. So they're becoming more aware and more reactive versus becoming unaware and not being proactive. To be proactive, folks, is where you should be with your company related to cybersecurity. So when you're measuring the two, things you need to look at is, when you're measuring a cyber threat, the other elements on the other side is it worth financial losses, reputational damage, and legal entanglements? Something to think about. And then the question I ask you after that is think of it again, is cybersecurity is not just an IT issue. It's not an IT issue, folks. It's a bottom line issue for companies. It can cost your company lots of money through regulations, through fines and penalties and audits that you will go through to prove that your company did not cause, or but for cause, a cyber incident or customers to lose their data. So how can we do this? Well, there's a couple ways. One is that you could, of course, read a book. Sure, you can read a book and have your employees read books about it, and they'll understand it for one day or 1 week, and then they'll forget about it the next time. One of the things that companies are starting to do now is to test their employees with email tests. Think before you click is one of the statements that are made. Think before you click. And basically what this is, folks, it's a way that you can test your employees' understanding of emails they receive, because emails create a cyber breach called phishing, where the cyber attacker will send an email to someone in an organization, and they will then click on it, and by clicking on an email from someone outside the corporation, it will cause malware to store on the actual desktop of the individual, and then find itself to the server down the line. And by having malware in your system, well, then the hackers can do all kinds of nefarious activities on your servers and cause the IT people a lot of chaos, right? Lots of IT people, yes, and the ones that are trained and certified, they will have one of the strongest firewalls that the company can afford on their system. Absolutely. We have lots of faith in them. However, if an employee is negligent and happens to click on an email that they didn't understand, it can break down those different protections that companies have. Here's another one. BYOD, bring your own device. When you're plugging your smartphone into your desktop at work. If you go to my LinkedIn page, I have a photo of a client's work desktop, and it shows a smartphone plugged into the USB drive. And yes, this organization, the USB drives and all the endpoints within the organization did not have any sort of software to monitor all the USB drives within the organization. If the smartphone from the worker was compromised with malware, and they plugged it into the desktop, it could possibly compromise the whole entire system of the organization. Definitely check that out. If you're on LinkedIn, go to my LinkedIn page. That's linkedin.com/Mac Jackson Jr. and take a look at a post that I did related to that. And it's a bit amazing now. People have seen it. It's been viewed now. About over 5,000 to 6,000 people have viewed this post. So definitely check this out. It's really interesting to see. If your desk looks like this, be careful. Be careful and train your employees not to have their desk set up in that way. So companies are being threatened by all kinds of cyber attacks, including the most vicious cyber attacks that's going on now, that is ransomware, where your computer system is locked up and frozen and all the data is encrypted, and the only person that knows the decryption code to get your data back are the cyber hackers that are asking for money. Usually it's a small amount, such a small amount that it's better to pay it than to contact law enforcement or try to get your backups or find another way to get your data. But there are companies that I tell you folks, there are companies that I'm talking with now with my business and other cybersecurity researchers. I've been talking with companies that have come out with software that can fight against ransomware. So it's happening. It's something that we need to do right away, because there are people out there that are trying to put ransomware on individual machines as well as large corporations as well. So ransomware is one of the biggest threats to have. So those are some of the things. Now the other things I recommend you do, folks, is go to my website at macjacksonjr.com. You go to my website, I have a free report on identity theft and fraud for your family. You could download that. It's a 10-point strategy that you definitely should take a look at. And once you get it, I would definitely invite you to send it to someone else that you may know. It will help their business out as well. Also, there is products and services that we have on our website. We just got it redone. It's been changed now. There's policies that you can purchase also on my website. I definitely recommend you go to my website, click on products and services, and sign up for our policies and procedures. We have a program that has hundreds of different templates that you can have in your business to help you, so you don't have to worry about doing a Google search to find this data. We've already done the research for you on it. We're working with some great companies, third-party companies. As a reseller, we have this information for you. So definitely go to my website at macjacksonjr.com, click on products and services, and scroll down to about the middle of the screen. You will see, of course, my book. You'll also see policies and procedures by Information Shield and Compliance Shield. It would help your company stay up to date on the latest technology and what's going on and how to protect your data. Got to have policies, folks, and train your people. Thank you very much, and we'll be right back here on Technology Review with more information for you after these messages.